Hello, and welcome to Can You Handle the Truth? I am your host, Jocelyn N. McGuire, specializing in breakthrough counseling, women's ministry, as well as mental health, also trauma with adults and children as well. I do hold a BS in psychology, and I am also a certified circle keeper. My passion is that individuals will overcome with the truth. Now, let's get to it. Can you, can you, and I'm also helping you handle the truth. Hello, and I am back, and I'm so thankful to be back. I think this is the second broadcast um, since I've been back, and I'm doing fairly well. So I hope you guys had a nice week, and I hope that everything was well with you. Listen, listen. Tonight, we will be talking about oversharing. Mm-hmm. Over oversharing. Oh, thank you. Well, hello to you too, Tawana. Yes, we will be talking about oversharing. And oversharing, I believe that people may overshare and not realizing they are oversharing, especially when you're meeting someone new and trying to start a relationship. Sometimes you could say too much too soon. Don't you believe that? You can spill your life story to them, and however, you may be scaring this person away because you're oversharing. Um, like I said, I can understand why some people overshare. Because they don't have no secrets or anything of that nature. And they may be experiencing some sort of trauma in their life that they are going through, and they may not be able to get over it, or maybe they thought they was over it, but however, they will share these very personal details, and they will start to share them with you. Now, according to Google, just in case some of you all do not know, that what oversharing means. Now, according to Google, oversharing, saying something personal or inappropriate in the wrong setting or to the wrong person. You starting a new relationship, okay? And you start to tell things, personal things about yourself. Now, some things you should keep to yourself because you may be running that person off. You ever think about that? You could be running that individual away from you, and they could be thinking, wow, I don't think I want to give it this person. They got too much baggage. They had too much baggage. So you can share too much too soon and you spook people. Okay? You spook them. All right? Now, I myself, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of oversharing. And uh, now that I have done the research and everything, I have found out that I was oversharing. And I know why I was oversharing. And I was oversharing um, because of trauma, past trauma in my life. And I was oversharing um, very deep personal things that had happened. I'd like for you guys to like and share. Please like and share. Like and share. All right. And subscribe on YouTube. Jocelyn McGuire. All right. Thank you so much. Now, let's get down to it. Oversharing. Like I said, you can overshare too much information, personal information about yourself that will run a person off. Like I said before. Let's take this for example. I'm talking to someone's trying to talk to me, and we trying to get to know each other, and they may ask the question, well, what happened in your last relationship? And then here you go blabbing off, well, my last relationship, he cheated on me and I caught him and I was gonna kill him and her both. And I meant what I said. Ooh, slow up. Now I'm getting impression of you as being a psycho, and what you threaten to do to them, what you might do to me. So that is sharing too much too soon with a new individual. Someone that's trying to get to know you, and you are trying to get to know them. All right. Now, I I would look at that person and I would think, wow, what what is actually going through their minds that they would want to share the real bad things that they thought about doing to someone that they was formerly in love with. Okay? Now, if they say they're going to do this to this person and do that to that person, and that they are still angry with this individual, now I'm going to walk away thinking, he's nuts. I call her a bee. That bee did this, and no, I could slap that bee around. I sure did. I'd be like, wow, that is a red flag. Okay, that's a red flag. Pay attention to what people are saying to you when they begin to try to get to you to know them. Remember that. Remember what people are saying and how they are saying it and what they may not be saying. Now, like I said before, I had an issue of oversharing. And yesterday, which was Wednesday, yesterday I was in a setting and there was a conversation um, about relationships. And All right. All right. Well, you know what? About a relationship. And I started to go into some details. I started going into some details about my relationships. Okay. But I stopped. And because I realized I was beginning to what? Overshare. I was beginning to overshare what my experience was. And I'm quite sure I thought about, I'm like, oh, I'm going to sound like a real crazy woman about now if I keep my mouth open and share these different relationship experiences in a negative way, in a negative tone. Um, Tracy says here on Facebook. She says here, she said, I wouldn't walk, I would run. Absolutely. I mean, if they are throwing up the red flags, as I say, red flags, then yes, you should run. All right. You should run. It's not time to be trying to analyze that person, not time to be trying to be sympathetic with that person. It's not time for none of that. It's time for you to put your thinking cap on. This person is throwing red flags and I'm running out of here. And you wonder, oh, why come he's not answering my calls? Why come he not calling me back? Well, you threw up those red flags by that oversharing. Oversharing too much too soon. Now, I'd like for you all to go ahead, like and share, tag somebody, bring them on in. Because you know what? This is something that we need to be talking about. Okay. This is a subject that people don't want to talk about. You know, they don't want to talk about oversharing or conversations with someone because nowadays people feel as though they're more at liberty, and there's nothing wrong with being explicit about your past or your now. Now, I remember, because you know, I used to work in the workplace, and I remember that I remember at one time that I was at work and we was us ladies, you know, was having a conversation about boyfriends and things like that. And talking about, oh, I wouldn't do certain things. No, we just wouldn't do. I wouldn't do that. And someone said this. I love, I love anal. Like, wow, where'd that come from? Wow. Where'd that come from? I just want to know. So that was an inappropriate time to share. That was inappropriate. That was not the setting to say that, you know, because it wasn't that type of real conversation. Uh, but they just blurted it out. You know, we never did ask what position you like or didn't like, but hey, but some things we do and some things we don't. But however, it was too much. It was too much. Who is this? Right. Okay. And it was just too much going on. Now, sometimes oversharing um, may be something that you just got to get off your heart and off your mind. And I listen to people when they are sharing very bad things that happen to them. And I listen to them and I'm like, okay, you need to talk to someone. You need to talk to someone about what's going on with you, because apparently this is trauma that has not uh, left you, and it continuously on your mind, because you're sharing. But when we are sharing, oversharing, what are we actually doing? Do you think it would mess up a relationship? I mean, I just want to put this question out there. Do you believe that oversharing, even in a relationship that's been going on for years, do you believe that oversharing could really do something to the relationship in a negative type of way? It's something you never share with your significant other or your spouse. It's something you never share with them. But after 5 years, 10, maybe 15, 20 years, then you decide that you are going to tell them what's been going on with you, or what has happened in the past. You know, are you being authentic with it to help someone not go down this road, or are you just oversharing? Now, since you're with this person, I want to know this. Do you believe that the significant other or spouse would judge judge what you're saying? Would they do that? Would they actually think about you in a negative way? I just want to know. Would they think about you in a negative way? Okay, we have a response here. Tawana says no on Facebook. She says no, they wouldn't leave you. Um, I guess it wouldn't it depend on what you're sharing. I think it would probably depend on what you're sharing. Okay, Mr. James, I want to know, do you overshare? If you would have caught us in the beginning, you would have heard that, yes, I do overshare. I had overshare. Now that I am aware that I was oversharing, I catch myself now, and I don't overshare um, things about myself anymore. I don't overshare, the real personal things and hideous things that have happened to me. Oh, mm-hmm. Uh, so no, I don't overshare anymore. But if you went and you told your significant other, and this is not the beginning of a relationship, if you told your significant other, I was raped as a young lady. I was raped as a young lady, and I just wanted you to know that. But then it'd be like, well, what was the significance of telling that to your spouse? What they would start to wonder, why are you telling me this? Now, Mr. James has a question on the floor, and he says, What's wrong with being totally transparent? What's wrong with being totally transparent? Being totally transparent has its place. You would not want to be so transparent with someone that you're trying to know or they are trying to know you. Now, will your transparency will it be very, very personal, very detailed? uh what exactly are you trying to tell this person about yourself? Are you explaining to this person, well, I am short tempered, I had 3 women at one time, I had 2 men at one time? Now, that's being a little bit too transparent, I believe. But you say, what's wrong with being transparent? If you are too transparent, oversharing, then you are putting up what? Red flags. If someone is very transparent with you, wouldn't you look at them in a different way? Um, so you say that being transparent is not oversharing. Okay, that's what James is saying. He said, no, it's not. He said, no, it's not. No, no, no. He says, no. Okay. So what point do you, what you wouldn't want to share? What is it that you would not want to share? What is it? What is it that you would not want to share about yourself to a brand new person that's trying to get to know you and you're trying to get to know them? Now, transparency, okay, fine. But it can be limited to what you are saying personally about yourself. Now, because if a person is being truly transparent and they share information with me, uh that puts up red flags for me, I am going to not walk away like Tracy said, but I'm going to run away. You tell me, yeah, I slapped the mess out of that heifer. I slapped her so hard. I'm Listen, I don't want to be with no violent person like that. Okay, Mr. James, he says here on Facebook, he said, it would let me know why they may act or respond to certain things and give you a better understanding of that person. What do you think about that? I'm going to read that again because it would let me know why they may act or respond to certain things and give you a better understanding of that person. Okay. I can see it giving you a better understanding of that person. It's almost like a if I do, if I don't, but then if I find out later, you should have told me in the beginning. But mm, that's that's kind of like a thin line. That's like, to me, that's like a thin line that you're walking on being transparent with that person. It's okay to be transparent, but should you hold back on some things like you burnt their house down, you set his car on fire, I did a Stella, I mean, it's just some things you just don't talk about. I just want to know. Oh, you said right because you don't want to know later. Listen, I don't want to find out later. Listen, because one thing about finding out later, well, you didn't tell me this before, but you know what? You got to listen closely to what people are saying to you. You have got to listen closely what they are saying to you. Do we consider it oversharing? You want to know everything up front. Jay said he wants to know everything up front. There's nothing wrong with that. Know everything up front. That way you can what? Either run or stay. That'll be your decision. Hmm. But that can run you off. If that person give you details of their negativity of themselves and how they treated their last relationship, what would that tell you? What would it actually be saying? Even though they're being transparent. Wait a minute, Mr. James. Who's y'all? Mr. James says, he says on Facebook Ghost, listen, y'all never give it all up. uh-uh. Y'all never give it all up. Y'all never give it all up. Okay, James. He says, okay, then it's my choice to deal with her or not. Yes, that would be your choice. That would be your choice. And then you know exactly what you're into. And then you start having what? What do they call it? Buyer's remorse. That you ever met this person. When people show who they are, listen here. When people show you who they are, that's who they are. Okay? When people show you who they are, that is who they are. That's who they are. Women always keep secrets. You think so? Ladies, do we always keep secrets? Do we always keep secrets? That's a question on the floor. Do we always keep secrets, ladies? I just kind of wonder because no, we got this male on here, James. I've been knowing him for umpteen years. Do we always keep secrets? Oh, you said, oh, this what you say? He said, yeah. He said, yes, y'all do. I got some secrets. Hello, DJ Spoon 305 on TikTok. I do have secrets. Yeah, I believe women keep more secrets than men. What you all say about that? Do women keep more secrets than men? Ah! Oh, we got Mr. Tillman on here. He said, yes, ma'am, y'all do. Wow. Ladies, listen, I need some help. Is it true that women keep secrets? Is it true that women keep secrets? Got somebody who wants to come on here on invite said. Okay, I sent you an invite. I never really had nobody this one time on TikTok. So you guys kind of bear with me, okay? Because sometimes I just don't know. All right. He said, yes, they do. Heck yeah. Wait a minute. We have two men on here saying that they done buddy up. These two guys done buddy up and saying that women keep secrets. Mm. I must say that, um, yeah, I believe we do keep secrets. I have some secrets. I'm not gonna tell you everything about me because you may not be able to handle it. Mm-mm. Ah, wee. I love you too, son. He said, I love you, mom. But you know y'all do. You know y'all do. You ladies, do we keep secrets? Do we? He said, but y'all really do. I love you too, son. Ooh, wee. Women. Okay, let's kind of shift a little bit since they want to say that we um has see. Thank you, Tawana, coming on the girls' team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, they saying that we keep secrets. Yeah, we do keep secrets. Tawana said yes. Oh yeah. But sometimes you have to keep a secret, you know. But is this good or is it bad? Okay, James, what you saying here? But it should be our choice if we want to deal with you all or not. So if we told you the total truth in very personal things about ourselves, and we start to really overshare, would you still want to deal with me? That's what I want to know. Why do we have to keep secrets? Well, I keep secrets because I don't want to be hurt. I mean, that might sound foolish to someone, but I have found out that even sharing secrets with your significant other, your husband, that some will wash your face with it. And you wasn't expressing to them what had happened or what you feel so that you would be torn down with your very own words. You weren't doing that for that purpose. But it's your choice. Yeah, it's your choice. Do you have any secrets? I'm quite sure you men keep secrets as well. I believe you do. Yeah, but I have my reasons on why I keep some things a secret. Some things I don't want to share. Sometimes you can be, like I said, oversharing, and that person, like I said, will use your very words against you. And it could be a very touchy situation, but you felt like you should share it with your significant other. And they can take what you are sharing, take it, and use it against you. That's all I'm saying. So James says this. He says if he's really interested in a lady, he said, I'm totally transparent. Now there I believe there is a difference between being transparent and oversharing. There's a difference in being transparent and oversharing. Okay, James says, he said, because if it was to come out later, that's all bad. It makes no, it makes, oh, so you're saying that there's no difference? There is a difference. There is a difference between oversharing and being transparent. It's nothing wrong with being transparent, but are you oversharing? Are you still saying no difference? Yes, it's a difference. Being transparent is different than oversharing.
Yeah, because you don't want to hear your lady talk about all her past sexual experiences.
Can you all hear him? My co-host, who is busy, but he sidebar. And can you repeat that
Yeah, this
again?
for the gentleman. It's like, you don't want to hear you don't want her, if you haven't even asked to say like, oh well, how many sexual partners have you had, or your sexual experience, and this person
Fear.
is just talking away, and you haven't even asked this, and they're telling you, well, I done had you know 10 men, and that was just in the last year.
Did you all hear that?
Is that something that you think that can oversharing can damage the potential of a relationship of moving forward?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. James told me. Tell you what James told me to tell you.
What do you say?
He said, "Tell him to stay out of this." We have here on TikTok, um, selfish Ian Run is saying nervous people overshare for the good, for the great of silence and the element of nervousness. The element of nervousness. So there's a silence in the room, and so you begin to overshare. And also fear of the secrets, fear. Like my co-host said, would you want to? But we're not talking about body counts. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. You said be transparent. I'm talking about oversharing. Now, when we get into the conversation or oversharing, now you ask me, well, how many sexual partners have you had? And if I sit up and I say a certain number to you, and I say, oh, I done had at least 20, what are you going to think then? Because see, that is too much personal information. That's too much personal information. Talk about he not talking about body counts. Hello, Sherelle. Thanks for joining in. What do you think about this oversharing? Oversharing.
Because when you overshare, a lot of times that is like you're dumping all of your baggage basically off at one time, and it's like I only asked for one bag, not a whole set of luggage and grocery bags and carry-on bags and backpacks and everything else. And then all that can do is, and this person may have good intentions, they might not even, they might not even be feeling like they're oversharing, but they're trying to get it out because they feel like, oh, let me go ahead and release this and get this out. But that could cause damage to the potential of you building a relationship with somebody, because that it's a sense as it gives red flags that you have a lot of baggage, that you have something probably wrong. You probably are suffering from ADHD, or you may be suffering from loneliness, or you might even just come from a family who just loves to talk about everything and everything all the time, and everybody's just an open book, and you may not want to be in that kind of situation where somebody comes from that type of environment and all they do is discuss everything. So then that person that likes to overshare begins to overshare with their own family and friends about things about you and them.
You're right. Absolutely
So
right.
oversharing is damaging per se, unless somebody is asking you about certain things and you both are on a common ground where it's like a no judgment type zone, and you both are sharing past experiences and past relationships,
okay,
stuff like
well, we
that.
got somebody on here
Yeah.
that wants to know what were you saying. I guess because I don't know if they can hear you or not, but we're talking about oversharing, between oversharing and being transparent. And I said that there is a difference in the both, oversharing and transparency. Now, I know that James said that I'm mature person would not ask you how many sexual partners you have. Now, I would ask this type of question. Uh, what are you on any type of medication? Psycho meds. Oversharing can be control. Oversharing is a trauma. It's a release. This is what Fish in 305 Run is saying. Oversharing is a trauma. It's a release. The thing about oversharing, it can be control. True, 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 true. All right, true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah, there's a difference. There is a difference. And we must pay attention. All right. Because like the one viewer said, and like I said earlier in the show, that oversharing may be from a trauma, from a trauma experience. Yeah, and I would say this, that okay, it depends on the person. Absolutely, I'm coming to you, Sherelle. Uh, Jamar, you got a message from James. He said he needs to go back to what he's doing. He's too young for this.
Let me go back to the kitchen.
Well, Sherelle says this. She said it depends on the person. Yes, it depends on the person. But do it depends on which person? Which person do it depend on? Do it depend on the receiver or the giver? Which one do it depends on? The receiver or the giver? Because if you're telling me, no, these some bad things that happened to you, or you done some real raunchy things, and we just now starting to know each other. We just now starting to know each other, trying to learn each other. We are trying to do that. What it depends on what you're saying, because sometimes it can be too early, too much, too personal, too soon. Now, we got Selfish on here said transparency is giving enough info to indulge the listener. I agree with that on you. Yeah. Okay, Sherelle, I don't know how you stop, but we're saying it does matter. It does matter. Mr. James, why does it matter? It just do matter. You just met someone that you're interested in, and they tell you, listen, and they telling you some very personal thing that had happened to them. Then what? I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You absolutely is true. Okay. Sherelle says, you're right. It's always a timing for everything. It's always a timing for everything. Always a timing.
Ecclesiastes 3. Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time and a season for everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ain't time for you to share all of your traumatic experiences.
Did you hear that?
Because oversharing can leave you in a vulnerable position.
Yeah. Yeah, it can leave you in a vulnerable position when you are oversharing.
Yeah, and you may be looking for some type of response for this person, but this person is too much for them at that moment, so they don't even know how to even to respond to that. And now you're in a vulnerable situation, and you're
Right.
like walking away, like, man, they didn't say much about it, or I didn't get much of a response because it was too much too soon.
Too much too soon. First don't even really know you. Sherelle says, if you're exposed too fast, some might run. Absolutely. It's what I was saying, that some might run.
And some might take advantage.
And some might take, you heard that, didn't you? Some might run and some might take advantage. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Okay, James, you keep saying it should be my choice if I want to deal with you or not. True, that is true. That is true. Yeah, it should be your choice if you want, true, if you want to deal with that person or not. That should be your choice. It's each other's choice. Yeah, it's your choice. No, it's your choice. You wonder if you want to be at liberty and overshare your personal experiences or personal trauma with someone and what it did to you and how they did it to you and what happened at that time, and we still suffering from it. Then what? Oh, Sherelle, thank you for tuning in, Sherelle. We appreciate you. She said, I wish I had more time, but I have to go back to class. It's understandable. Understandable.
Love you, Sherelle.
Love. Jamar say he loves you. You know Sherelle?
Yes.
Oh.
It's Takesha Jacobs.
Oh, Sherelle Henderson?
Oh, Sherelle Henderson.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. She's from church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's one of the new
oh my God, I didn't recognize you. I'm so sorry. All right, go back to class and I'll see you, all right? Take care. It is at 8 o'clock. We only stay on an hour. We only stay on an hour. We end at 8 o'clock. We start at 7 and end at 8 every Thursday, okay? Thank you for joining in. We love you too. We love you too. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. Yeah, but this is what our viewer on TikTok is saying here. And I like what they're saying. They're saying that oversharing needs reminders in being mindful, self-awareness. Absolutely. Like I caught myself the other day, yesterday, I caught myself and I was getting ready to really start oversharing. I really want to start oversharing, but then I thought about this subject, oversharing. I'm like, I caught myself. I'm like, I shouldn't, they don't really know me like this. They don't really personally know me. They're just now starting to have a conversation with me. I really don't know anything about them, and they really don't know anything about myself. So I learned how to catch myself. Yeah, self-awareness. Self-awareness. Uh okay, she said, I want to know your secrets. Oh, James, can we have your secrets first? You tell your secrets, then I'll tell some of mine. All right, Mr. James. Sherelle says this. She says that everybody not mature enough to receive the information. She said that's her last comment. She got to go to class. Everyone is not mature enough to receive the information. Everybody's not going to understand your pain. Everybody's not going to understand what you've been through. That's when you started with the lies. It's some things you just don't share with a new person. No, you trying to know them, they're trying to know you. Okay, now you want to share some horrible experience you had, and you want to give them details. Okay, he says it's selfish. Yes, it's not maturity, it's boundaries. He said it's boundaries. Don't drop your mess at my door if I didn't ask you to. He said, don't drop your mess at my door if I didn't ask you to. Okay, Mr. James says, yes, he is transparent. But I tell you, this is real good. It's not maturity, it's boundaries. It's not maturity, it is boundaries. Don't drop your mess at my door if I didn't ask you. Now, have I asked you, have you experienced any trauma in your life? Have you been in abusive situations? What happened? And what did you do? Well, that's a little personal to me. I know you're transparent, James, but I think that's a bit personal to me. Oh, you need to know about the crazy Eva, the crazy Eva. You need to know. Okay, so that was what? Okay, James says to your remark, he says this on Facebook. He says, boundaries mean that there's some lies coming. No, no, no. No, that's not what that means. Boundaries means that there is a certain measure that you're not going to give a person. Okay, it's boundaries. There are boundaries that you should not what cross. There's boundaries that you should not cross. He said, no, you're incorrect. Okay, boundaries is drawing the lines that should not be crossed. Just like I said. Just like I said. Boundaries means that you're going to tell it all, and you're not being totally transparent, and then you have to tell lies to back it up. James, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what he said? He says this. He says this. Boundaries mean that you're not going to tell it all and you're not being totally transparent. And then you have to tell lies to back it up. Tell what lie to back what up? I'm not crossing the boundaries and telling you certain things. I'm not going to do that. Uh, okay, yeah, they are being inconsiderate. Yeah, selfish as you're being inconsiderate. Transparency is giving just enough information. Did you guys get that? Transparency is giving just enough information. Just enough information. Now, listen here. Like and share. Like and share. Like and share. Because no, we got this thing going on about transparency and oversharing and about boundaries. You can't tell too much too soon about yourself because a person like my co-host said, they may use it against you. They may use it against you. They might do that. Listen here, guys. Thank you all for joining in. James, we do welcome all your comments. He said, but that is not definition of transparency. You're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. And this person on TikTok, certainly not crazy. They know what they're talking about. You seem the one to be confused. You're confused. Listen, James, I'm glad it's 8 o'clock too. Okay. All right. Listen, the person, I'm giving you the last message. What they told me on TikTok. They said, I'm not arguing with James. He's toxic. All right. Now you heard that. You said you're toxic. Oversharing. Can you handle the truth? I want to say this. I want to thank you all for joining in into the conversation for tonight of oversharing. Now we learned some things on here that would be very, very valuable when we are communicating with someone. Very valuable information. Very valuable information. And Miss Jane thought he glad it's 8 o'clock. And guess what? I'm glad too. Listen, I want you all like and share. Do the same. Now, in ways of announcements, remember we are voting for comedian of the year. Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, they say they bet he's glad. Oh my goodness. This James, he's just antagonizing, isn't he? Talking about that person on TikTok. If they can't stand it, he get out the kitchen. I think that you can't stand the truth. Mr. James, you can't stand the truth. You can't stand truth. Listen here. In ways of announcements, remember, let's vote in the Kingdom Image Arts Award. Okay, for Comedian of the Year. Comedian of the Year, Queen Solomon. All right. Queen Solomon. Let's vote for her. Okay. She's a native of Columbus, Ohio. And she's our girl. So let's vote for her for Greatest Comedian of the Year. Queen Solomon. All right. Thank you all for joining in. Mr. James, I can't handle the truth. Oh, he got so many jokes. He said, Johnson, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth, James. He said, I vote for Jamar as Comedian of the Year.
Oh, there is a song. There is a category, song of the year.
Oh, there is a category of
Song of the year.
Song of the Year.
Song of the year.
Uh-huh.
Gregory Watkins and Worship and Praise. I Can See So Much. It's a song that I lead.
Oh, did you all hear that? My son says, go on to the Kingdom Image Awards and vote also for Song of the Year. I didn't know that was on there.
I Can See So Much.
I Can See So Much. That's the song, and it's led by my son, Jamar. Isn't that awesome? So it's Song of the Year.
Or Choir of the Year.
And Choir of the Year, large group of the year as well. So you guys go on there and vote. Go on there. I see what I can do. You want to know if I can wear the blue hair next week? Please. Okay. I see what I can do for you, James. Okay. All right. Listen, our time has been well spent. Thank you all for joining in. Like and share. And if you have a subject that you would like for me to expound upon, please let me know. All right? Send me a message. Let me know what you would like for me to talk about. And once again, thank you all for joining in. Can you handle the truth? Join me next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk some more. All right? Let's talk some more. And let's get it all out there. Right? Thank you all once again for joining in. Have a wonderful weekend. And be safe. Like and share. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jocelyn McGuire. Can you handle the truth? Thank you guys for joining in. Have a blessed night and a wonderful weekend. Guess what? I love you. But you know what? God loves you best. Thank you once again.